My name is Travis Weeks. I was born in a little mission hospital in a village called Kempesi in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And when I was 8, my family and I moved to Savannah, Georgia. My grandparents, Cleland and Helen, were missionaries in the Congo for almost 40 years.
If you have faith in God and believe in Him, and He's willing and has made everything so easy for you to do something, to make up your mind and do something, then He must be in favor of it, and you just got to do it. We arrived in 1946.
Now, that had a huge impact on our family because their children, my aunts and uncles, some of them were born there, and now there's a 4th generation of us. Charlie and Claire are living here in Africa, and their experience here is a result of my grandparents' decision to choose love over fear 70 years ago. And I know it's going to deeply affect the way Charlie and Claire see the world and the way they understand what God is doing in the world and how they are going to be able to participate in that. Jesus says this, but anyone who is thirsty, come to me, and let the one who believes drink. And out of a believer's heart shall flow rivers of living water.
My name is Emily Weeks, and I was born in Savannah, Georgia. When I was in 4th grade, at Savannah Christian Church, my Sunday school teacher went to Haiti on a mission trip. I remember even then just being very interested in seeing what God was doing in a different country.
Being born into the Weeks family, missions was a part of our daily life from the time I was born. Probably the biggest push toward missions came when I was in high school and then later in college through my own personal growth as a believer and through my own questioning, how do I live out my faith? How do I participate in the kingdom of God as a Christian, as somebody who's following Jesus and trying to follow Jesus? And so because of my family history, missions was very familiar. It was something I knew a lot about, and this is sort of like woven into who I am,
So in 2013, when we moved here with a 9-week-old, the reality was a lot different than what I had imagined. And I had anxieties and fears that I never thought I would have.
Rock Factory Store.
Yes, I know Jesus is love, and perfect love casts out fear, and that's something I have to always be praying for more understanding and more of that reality in my life. But my reality is I'm home all day with 2 babies, and Travis is off doing the ministry that we came here to do, and sometimes I lose sight of the purpose because I'm not outside the home. I'm not seeing it on a daily basis. But every once in a while, I get in the car with Travis and travel an hour down the road to Mojo, one of our villages where we have a church. And I like to see the church there. I like to see the solar charging cell phone station that Travis is helping maintain, because it helps me remember that we're here to help this church be self-sustaining, and it's worth it. It's worth us being here.
When you start a journey of faith, it is a journey of faith. You don't know what's ahead of you. And that is the joy and the challenge at the same time.
I have known Travis for 2 years.
I know Travis for 2 years.
I've known Travis and Emily around 2 years ago.
Not only Travis, his family, Emily, encouraged me in this case with us as a family in Ethiopia. Also, it's a good job with us.
Travis's ministry affects.
Travis is good missionary. We need that.
It has positive impact on our church because he's a knowledgeable person. Biblically, he has a good knowledge. We learn from him not only from his verbal things, but also from his actions.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. We love because he first loved us. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. And this commandment we have from him: whoever loves God must also love his brother.
This passage from 1 John, for us it acts as like an anchor. It's an anchor that we can cling to that reminds us of what's at the core of our life, of our faith, of this reminder of what's at the center of the gospel. It's that we have been the recipients of amazing love. And how can our response not be to extend this kind of love to other people? And that's what we're trying to do here. That's what we want people here in Ethiopia to know, this love also, this love that we've gotten. And it's the love of Jesus, and the way it motivates us is more powerful than any fears that become the obstacles that stand in our way. Because the reality is, if we're honest, there are days here when Emily and I question whether or not we're doing the right thing, because it gets hard, because it's hard on our family, we miss our family, because we get frustrated with the bureaucracy of dealing with the government. There's all kinds of things that make living here more difficult than life would be back in the US, But the reality is, there are people in Ethiopia who have never heard about Jesus. And they don't know the love of Jesus yet. And we want them to have that. And so Emily and I are here in Ethiopia. We work primarily with Ethiopian pastors to train them so that they can go out and be evangelists in their own communities, and to go into areas of Ethiopia where people have literally never heard about Jesus. You and I know that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord, may be saved.
Namni maqaa Waaqayyo waammatu hundumtuu inoodha isa jedhu beekna nuti.
Because the message of the gospel is love. And these are folks who generally live in fear of spirits in the trees, fear of spirits, their ancestors. And when the gospel comes in, they hear a new message. They hear about a new way to live, a new orientation. And it's a better story to be a part of for them than what they were living with before. It's an honor to do what we do. I love that we get to be a part of something that our family has been doing for generations. Are we paying attention? Are we listening to God? Are we listening to God's instructions for how we are to be serving? Because some of us need to wake up. We have knowledge of something special. We have to remember the power of the knowledge we have, because it has the potential to change the world, but it doesn't work unless we make ourselves available to what God is going to do through us.